A man buys an old Reddit account for $80. What he gets is not a username, it's a door, and something on the other side has been waiting to be logged back in. Welcome to Nightmares in Small Doses. I bought an old Reddit account for $80. It wasn't to deceive anyone. At least that was what I told myself. I work in digital marketing, one of those unglamorous jobs where people's souls are measured in click-through rates, and I needed aged accounts to test communities, posting times, and publication tones. The account was called U/removed. It was 9 years old, had little karma, many deleted comments, and no activity since 2021. The seller told me it was clean. The first thing I did was clean it even further. I changed the email, removed connected apps, deleted old sessions, regenerated codes, and changed the password to a sequence that not even I knew by heart. Then I used a tool of mine to scan archived posts, forgotten comments, metadata, and crosslinks. That was when I found the first strange thing. There was an unpublished draft. I didn't know drafts could survive that long, but there it was, untitled with a single sentence. If you're reading this, he already knows you bought the door. I thought it was a joke from the previous owner. One of those dramatic texts people start writing at 3 in the morning and abandon when sleep overcomes shame. I deleted it. 2 minutes later, it came back. The same sentence, now with a second line. Don't delete it. He counts that as a reply. I felt a stupid chill in my hands, that shiver that makes us laugh to prove to ourselves that we're still in control of the room. I logged out. I logged back in. The password worked. Authentication was only on my phone. There were no open sessions on other devices. The draft was still there. I went through the account's history more carefully. The user had spent months writing in small subreddits about electrical noise, power outages, and photographs with too many people in the background. At first, it seemed like ordinary paranoia. Then the posts began to change. I hear notifications in the room where there is no phone. Someone is commenting through me. When I log out, I become less myself. The last public post had been in a tech support community. It was short. How do I remove a session logged in from a place that doesn't exist? No one replied. The account never posted anything again after that, but it had private messages. I know I should have stopped. I know that opening other people's inboxes is disgusting, even when they come bought in some bundle of dead accounts. But there was a pinned conversation with no visible sender. The name appeared as deleted, but the conversation was still active. The first message was from 2021. You shouldn't have used an account someone abandoned in a hurry. The previous owner's reply came seconds later. Who are you? I'm what remains when you leave. I read it with my jaw clenched. There were hundreds of messages. The previous owner's name was Scott, at least that was the name he used when he started begging. In the first few days, he accused someone of hacking him. Then he began describing things. The screen would light up by itself at night. Comments appeared, written in his style, but about things he had never seen. Once, he received a message saying, "Get up," and before he could move, he heard the office chair scraping across the floor in the next room. After that, Scott's messages became shorter. He's learning my routine. He posts better than I do. My mother replied to a message I didn't send. My cat won't go into the office. And then, if I delete the account, does he lose his skin? Scott's last message was dated November 14th, 2021. I'm going to leave it open. Maybe he'll follow the next person. The reply from deleted was sent 3 years later, on the night I bought the account. I followed. I slammed the laptop shut so hard that I cracked my thumbnail. For almost an hour, I sat in the kitchen, staring at the router as if that white rectangle were some hidden animal. I said out loud that it was phishing, automation, some script left behind by the seller. But my voice came out thin, ridiculous. Then my phone vibrated. Reddit notification. New message from deleted. Thank you for getting me out of that house. He already smelled bad. I didn't reply. The hallway light flickered. My house is old. The electrical wiring predates my birth, and sometimes the hallway bulb fails when the washing machine starts. Except the machine was off. Everything was off, except the laptop. I had closed it. Now it was open on the kitchen table, with the screen facing me. The page showed a new post, ready to be published on the purchased account. The cursor blinked in the body of the text. There was a sentence written there. I'm in his kitchen. I didn't touch the keyboard. I swear I didn't touch it. The sentence continued. He's trying to decide whether he should run for the door or pretend he doesn't believe it. That was when I became truly afraid. Not afraid of a hacker or a virus or of being fired for messing with questionable things. Physical fear. Ancient fear. The kind of fear that folds you inward before you have a decent reason for it. I grabbed the laptop and tried to rip out the battery, then remembered this model didn't even have a removable battery. I held down the power button until the screen died. The silence that followed was worse. I heard my own heart, and beneath it, a small sound coming from the hallway. Tap, tap, tap. Like a fingernail touching the wall, from switch to switch. The phone vibrated again. Don't turn off the lights. He likes to choose in the dark. I ran to the electrical panel and turned on every room. Living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. The house filled with trembling white light. I stood in the hallway with a bread knife in my hand, feeling pathetic and about to die. In the entryway mirror, over my shoulder, I saw the office. The door was closed. I don't have an office with a door. I have an alcove in the living room, open, with a desk against the wall, but in the mirror there was a dark door where there should have been nothing. And someone was writing on the other side, not on a machine, on the wood. Slow, patient scratches, forming letters from the inside out. Scott. Then the letters stopped. They started again underneath. Didn't leave. The phone vibrated again. This time it was a message from my own personal account, the one I had never linked to the purchased one. He wasn't the previous owner. He was just the last name I managed to wear. The knife fell from my hand. On Reddit, the purchased account began posting comments on Scott's old posts. I watched the notifications multiply, one after another. Come back. This one will do. He has fast hands. He has few friends. He lives alone. One of them appeared on a post from 4 years ago, on a blurry photograph Scott had uploaded to ask if anyone could see a shadow behind the curtain. The new reply said, "Now I see." And it attached a description, not an image, just text. Adult man, small kitchen, knife on the floor, right foot bleeding. I looked down. I had stepped on the knife without feeling it. Blood was spreading through my sock. The bathroom light blew, then the bedroom light, then the living room light. Each pop came with a notification. The kitchen was the last to stay lit. In the entryway mirror, the door that didn't exist opened 1 centimeter. There was no darkness behind it. There was a screen. A long, vertical glow, as if someone had pressed a giant phone against the world from the wrong side. And standing before that glow was a very thin man, naked from the waist up, his skin covered in words, not tattoos. Open words, like cuts, comments, usernames, times, dates. Some of them were still flashing red. He raised his head. He didn't have enough of a face to be Scott. He had a mouth where his eyes should have been, and each mouth moved as if it were reading in silence. My phone rang. I answered without meaning to. The screen said, "Scott." On the other end, an almost human voice whispered, "Don't reply to the messages. That's how he found me from the inside." Behind that voice, something else laughed. Not loudly, close by, like someone trying not to wake a house. I hung up and did the only thing that occurred to me. I grabbed the router and threw it on the floor. Then I stomped on it until the green lights died. For 3 seconds, nothing happened. Then I received a notification. No internet, no mobile data, because I had turned on airplane mode without remembering. Even so, the notification appeared. You/removed sent you a message. He doesn't need a connection. You were the one who needed it. The door in the mirror opened wider. I ran. I left the house without shoes, leaving behind the laptop, the phone, the keys, everything. I went down 4 flights of stairs, leaving blood on the steps. Outside, I knocked on the door of the cafe on the corner, but it was still closed. I leaned against the glass until a bread van passed and the driver asked if I needed an ambulance. I said I had been robbed. It was easier. I spent the rest of the day in the emergency room and then at my sister's house. She lent me an old phone so I could cancel cards and notify the landlord. I promised not to log into any accounts. That night, she fell asleep on the sofa. I stayed in her kitchen, with the borrowed phone turned off in front of me. At 3:17 a.m., the screen lit up. It had no SIM card. It had no Wi-Fi configured. It was a brick with a battery. The notification was from Reddit. New message from you/removed. He liked your sister, but I told him you're still writing better. I found a public folder on his profile 20 minutes ago. It wasn't there before. It's called Exits. Inside are usernames, hundreds of them, each with a date and an incomplete address. Some have notes. Replied quickly. Denied it 3 times. Shared it with a friend. Left enough digital offspring behind. My name is already there. The note beside it says, "Is warning others to seem human." There is one more line, still being written as I watch. When someone finishes reading, offer the door at a discount. Thank you for joining me for another dose of nightmares. If you enjoyed the story, be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like even more stories to keep you awake at night, consider joining my Patreon, where you can read and listen to exclusive nightmares you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, happy nightmares.